Today I'm going to give you some easy jamming tips.
Freebie.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shoutout goes to Jason H. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. I do a lot of jamming here on this channel. Every Sunday, I release a video called Sunday Sessions, where I grab one of my pieces of gear and simply jam on it without talking. And lately, I've actually been doing a lot more no-talking jams on the channel because, well, I've really been enjoying them. However, I've been getting some comments, and a couple emails, actually, of people saying that no matter how hard they try, their jams aren't really fun, they don't have a good time jamming, and they can't get anything to really come together into something not necessarily cohesive, but more than just random chaos. So I figured I would do something that apparently I've never done before, I'm just realizing, and give you all some very basic tips to make jamming easier. So as you can see here, I've just got a PO32 Tonic, which is a little drum machine, but this will work with literally any gear that you want to jam on, and any combination of gear that you want to jam on. These are just tips for the jam itself. So my first tip is an important one, especially if you don't really have any background in any sort of music. Work in groups of 4. This can go pretty deep. It starts off really with parts. So let's say you're working with a synth and a drum machine. Make your drum part just have 4 parts within that. So a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, and then maybe a tom or a cymbal. All kinds of extra stuff. Leave that in a group of 4 different parts for your drums. Same with your synths. You can really break that down into 4 different synth types as well. You've got a bass, a lead, chords, and maybe an arpeggio. There you go. Keep it simple, keep it in groups of 4. However, the concept of 4 goes even beyond that, because we also want to work in 4/4 time. Now, this is going to be the default time for just about any piece of gear on the market, so you shouldn't have to worry about it, but basically it means that you can count through your pattern as 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and sequence something real quick. We'll just go boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. There you go, 4/4 time, super easy to bob your head along to, and super easy just to play with. But there's one more important aspect to working in groups of 4. If you're working with multiple patterns, which that's actually going to be my next tip, keep those patterns in groups of 4. So really quick, let's go to the next tip, which is actually to have 2 separate sections to a jam. Have 2 distinct patterns that you can switch between whenever you want. So we've got this one right here. Now we need to make a separate pattern that we can switch to very easily. Another tip that I have is to try to make that pattern different from the first one as drastically as you can. So a good way to do that, in this case, would be to make the pattern operate in halftime. And an easy way to accomplish that is, instead of putting your snare drum on the 2nd and 4th downbeats of your 4/4 measure, just put one on the 3rd beat of your measure. So put our snare drum right here, and let's put a kick drum just on beat 1 of our measure, and let's hear how this sounds. Add in some hi-hats on the downbeats, and you're good to go. Now quickly, let's go back to tip number 1, because remember I said to work in groups of 4? Well, when we're switching between these 2 patterns, we want to switch at the end of the 4th pattern, or a number divisible by 4. So 4, 8, 12, 16, you get the idea. So I'm going to let pattern 1 play 4 times, and then switch to pattern 2, and let that play 4 times. Let's have a listen. It almost starts to form a basic song structure, but really that's what a jam is. Having two separate patterns, especially ones that are that drastically different, can really help to change up your jam when you feel like something is getting a little bit stale. Of course, then you can write your synth line or whatever else you're jamming with around that too, and switch between those, just like you switch on your drums. I have one more tip for you. You want to make sure before you commit to the breakdown that you have a game plan for getting back to your main pattern, which, really entails knowing the basics of your device, how to manage the mutes and the effects on that device, etc., the multiple devices that you may be using. It's very, very satisfying to nail a transition from a breakdown back to the full pattern. However, it can be pretty disheartening when you miss it, because then you'll want to wait for another grouping of 4. So practice that. And when you start figuring out how to nail those transitions between different sections, whether it's a breakdown or pattern 1 or 2, in relation to those groupings of 4, it's gonna be pretty fun and a pretty satisfying experience. See, I missed it right there. I meant to go back to that first pattern and I missed it. Whoops. But you get the idea. And of course, if you are on a pocket operator, you've got tons of punch-in effects, which work great for jamming. If you are on a device that has those kinds of punch-in effects, they work really well, like the Circuit Rhythm, the OPZ, the pocket operators. Those are obviously a really fun and easy way to bring some variance to your jam without really having to do anything other than pushing a couple buttons. So there you go, some easy tips for jamming. Hopefully they helped you out. Hopefully you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.